Okay, in section 8.6, part 2, we're still working with radicals. Now we're going to take this into a bit of a different direction than we did in the last section. Here we're going to look at rational exponents. And an irrational exponent is an exponent that can be written as m divided by n, where m and n are integers and n is not equal to 0. Radical expressions can be written by using rational expressions. So we're going to use rational expressions to rewrite radicals. So here's how this will be done. The exponent 1 over n indicates the nth root. So a to the 1 over n is equal to the nth root of a. So as an example, 16 to the 1/4. The bottom number, the 4, is your index. So this will be the 4th root of 16, which is 2. But if you'll remember from the last section, since 4 is positive, is even, I should have plus or minus 2 as my roots. Example, so the second definition then, the exponent m divided by n indicates the nth root raised to the mth power. So this looks like a to the m divided by n. Now you got to pay a little bit of attention to this one. N is still your root. So this is going to be still the nth root. The difference here is that a is raised to the mth power. Here, a was raised to the first power. Now a is raised to the mth power. So let's look at an example of what this would look like. So let's say 8 to the 2/3 power. So this would be the same as, so remember, this bottom number is always going to be your index. So the denominator is always the index. So 8 to the power of 2 underneath the radical. We can rewrite this as the cube root of 8 squared. The cube root of 8, we know that to be 2 squared. Because the squared comes from inside, we just moved it outside. This is perfectly fine, and it's an equivalent expression. So 2 to the power of 2 is 4, so that would be my answer. 8 to the 2/3 would be 4. So here's a couple examples. Rewrite using a rational exponent. They're not asking you to simplify at this point, they just want you to rewrite it. So as long as we can rewrite it, we're good. So the square root of 5, remember if there's not a number there, it just means there's a 2. So this would be 5. So my n is 2, and my 5 is raised to the first power. So this is 5 to the 1/2. Rewrite number 2 using rational expressions. So I have x to the 4 divided by my index, which is 3. So the 4 comes from, it was with the x, and we need to divide it by 3. So x to the 4/3. So my m was 4 and my n was 3. So m divided by n is 4 divided by 3. In this case, your n was 2 and your m was 1. I think that's a good way to approach these. Identify what your n and m's are. So n 3, let's say our n is 2, our m is 1. So this will be 6 to the 1 over 2. Part 4 wants you to rewrite in radical form. So they're giving you the exponent, and you need to come up with the radical form. So we're going the opposite way now. So still a good idea. What is m and what is n? So n in this case, the bottom number is 7, and m, the top number, is 2. So remember, n is your index. So this will be, so remember, this is your index. This means you have the 7 on the outside. So this is the 7th root of x squared. We're just going to leave our answer like that. 5. Rewriting radical 4 to the 1/2. This one we probably could simplify, and we really should. So 4 to the 1/2 is going to be, and just for the practice, let's say n is 2 and m is 1. So this is my index. N is my index. So this will be 2 square root of 4 . So what you would have is the square root of 4, which we know that to be 2. So we can go ahead and simplify that one a little bit. Question 6. In question 6 here, again, start with your m and your n. So m is, the number on top is 8, and n is 4. Remember, n is your index. This means I have a 4th root of x to the 8th. So I add x to the 8th. Now this one probably might be a good idea to simplify this one as well. So I could reduce this to be the 4th root of x squared to the 4th. These would cancel, and I would be left with x squared. The x squared would be the preferred answer. If you wrote this, you're technically not wrong, but if we want the fully simplified form, it would be x squared. They didn't ask for the fully simplified form, so I would take this, but you really want to get to this in the habit of simplifying these. In the next video, I'll go over the properties of rational exponents for any integers, n and m, which is the next page in your notes.